Okay, Sean? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we could remain standing just to remember our men and women in the armed forces, as we do every meeting and every day in between. But I also tonight would like to remember a resident who used to come here lately, every one of our meetings. She'd sit right over there, Ellen Gunza. Thank you. Okay, first on the agenda we have for fiscal year 2022-2023, we have bills totaling $283,701.64. May I have a motion? Motion by Brian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jim. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
I had a question about one of the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of it is TAM Enterprises, and there's something about $9,200 about a jet vac hose that they found stuck in a manhole that nobody knew was there. What was that about? On Old State Road,
Oh, that's the sewer,
$9,200.
that's the sewer, okay, that's the sewer break that we have going on even as we speak down in Cragston. I know we had to call TAM, the sewer line was broken. I know that John Jones spent a lot of time down there, the men did. Is there any highway guys here? No, okay.
Something about a stuck jet hose or
I will ask,
stuck in a manhole that nobody knew anything about.
I will find out. I will find out and tell you, that's the best I can do tonight.
Okay.
So I have a motion and I have a second. All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the minutes from our last meeting. If we could approve them, I read them. The regular meeting was a couple of weeks ago, the 23rd of January, 2023.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second is all in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda here it is. I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. Next on the agenda is to accept, we should actually, the bid of $4,900 for the sale of surplus equipment. That surplus equipment is the very old yellow large dump truck that you see just down on the downside of the water plant. So that'll be out of there if it's not already. The high bid was $4,900, which I'm told by our mechanic, that's not bad. That was a good sale. Motion by Jim, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brian, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Next, I have a letter from Jose Santiago. This is the father, he was a part-timer, he worked maybe 2-3 times a month, does that sound right? Okay. So I'm writing to inform you that I will be resigning from my current position as part-time police officer in the Village of Highland Falls. I would like to thank the mayor and all the board members for the opportunity they provided me. And I would like to thank Officer in Charge Jason Turpey for all he has done for me here in this great village. So if we could accept that.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Just a comment
Yes.
on that. So this would be the third police resignation in a month.
I know for sure two. I'm not saying not three, but I'm thinking of his father.
Well, there's
father
the
and-
chief,
Oh, the chief, yes, three.
and then
Three.
there's Santiago, and then another one today. Okay.
But I just want to say this, you know what, no, wait a minute, I can't do it. Please, you know that why the chief resigned, correct?
No, not really. No, this is.
Okay, we'll go into executive session. We'll go
Yeah.
into executive session, okay. All right, next,
It was a surprise to me.
Next
I
up-
don't think many people.
next on the agenda is, I'm asking for authorization to sign the officer in charge compensation for Sergeant Jason Torpy, letter of agreement with the PBA. They have signed it. Our attorney has, Brian Goldberger wrote it, along with our village clerk, Regina Taylor. And again, as I said, the union signed it, and it just states that he's the officer in charge, and the same compensation, no more than the last time he filled in to be officer in charge. The amount of compensation remains the same. If I could have a motion to authorizing me to sign.
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
You have that, Gina? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have an event, the Highlands Art Alliance. It's kind of a year or two old group, right, Olga? What would you say, a couple years now?
Oh, I'm not part of that.
Oh, you don't draw? Oh, I heard you did well at the sip and draw thing.
I sip well.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, I don't know. I do stick people, that's what I do. So the Art Alliance requests art in the park. I think it's Memorial Park, am I right, Jen? No? Roe Park? Okay, so it'll be at Roe Park, Art in the Park. It'll be on Saturday, the 14th of October, 2023, 11 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon at Roe Park. Is the insurance here?
On the back.
Insurance is here, so everything is good. Okay, they're all set.
So moved.
Just motion by Jim, is there a second? Second by Gary, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Due to our next meeting being on Monday, which is a holiday, President's Day, through the minutes tonight, we need to cancel that meeting.
Make a motion, we cancel Monday, February 20th,
Is there a second?
due to President's Day.
President's Day. What did I say? Lincoln?
I don't know.
Okay.
President's Day, yes, second.
Okay.
Can't we just move it to Tuesday or another day of the week?
Well, right now, there's no reschedule. I think we're going to be okay. The only thing is if bills have to be paid, I will call a special meeting that's good for everyone to make to do bills.
So in the past, we just kind of rescheduled it either on
Sometimes.
Monday with the town or
Right.
another day.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes we've done that and sometimes we haven't. Unless there was a great need, say a public hearing or something like that. But I think we're going to be okay, except maybe we might need to pay bills. So I have a motion. Gary, did you second it?
Yes, sir.
Second it. All in favor?
Yes.
No.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Guerrero,
No.
Trustee Auer,
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Trustee Phillips.
Yes.
Mayor Denarpia.
Yes, motion carries, thank you. Okay. Public comment. Is there any public comment? And I just want to remind everyone that we do have a timer up here for 3 minutes. I always let it go more. But please just obey the rules.
I think there's a letter that has to be read first, so maybe that should be read so we could comment on it.
Now, this is public comment.
But there's no letter to be
I
read.
don't, not on my agenda.
I will be talking about some comments that were made with the police as the police commissioner.
You-
Michael Joyce at 9 Riverview Road, Highland Falls. I got wind of this letter, and it's a very good letter. But one of the points that it brings up in the letter, it still doesn't address how there isn't a minority or a woman in position of power We did have a lady police chief, and for some reason that even I don't know, she resigned. And it's cloaked in secrecy and darkness. Again, my comments not directed at the men and women of the Highland Falls Police Department. It was directed at people on the board, certain individuals, why we don't have a woman or somebody in Hispanic or black who is not in a position of authority. And I think it should be put out there and answered. I would like you guys to reschedule this meeting that you canceled, because I would like to get a follow-up on, what was that thing that was stuck in the sewer?
Some kind of jet hose for $9,200, that was.
As a taxpayer of Highland Falls, $2,000 to me is a lot of money. 9,000 plus. And I would like to know what it is and how it got stuck in the sewer, if that's okay with you guys.
Would you care to call John Jones at your leisure?
Well, no, I'm sure there's going to be an investigation, and you'll have a report. I mean, that's John Jones' job. I mean, that's the job he was given, assigned.
Correct.
Right, so I'm going to get the report from the meeting.
Well, okay. I don't want to use up your time, it's going pretty quick.
Okay, so I cover that point, so I want to make it clear, because I served myself a different uniform, and I didn't like people shooting at me.
Mike, your 3 minutes are up, but I'm going to let it go a little bit longer.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to overstep my mark, but anyway, if we could just take care of those points.
I don't hear anyone up here agreeing to a report unless someone wants to agree with me.
I mean, I was wondering what
Okay.
that was when I read it this,
Thank
just
you.
a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I mean, what is this jet hose? And it even said it, that the village didn't know about, that was stuck in a manhole for $9,200. And I think I would just bring up, I think one of the questions that Mr. Joyce had, and that was, you asked me, he says, you know why the chief resigned, don't you? And the answer is, absolutely not. I don't know why she resigned, and I don't know why it was that she resigned for a certain day, but the board, without me included, made her leave 1 month earlier than what we approved. So the question remains, why did somebody who was very competent resign after 6 months? And on top of that, we actually forced her out even earlier. So I think people are asking questions about that.
Okay. Any other public comments? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let's give other people time first. Ron Malco, Parry Avenue. Last board meeting, Melanie Guerrero brought up how much we're paying in legal fees for lawsuits, I guess, or personnel matters. It just seems really excessive. And this police chief thing, you accepted her resignation, the board accepted her resignation, but yet it seems like, was it a mayoral decision to have her leave early? Was it the finance guy on the village board? Is that Trustee DeSalvo? How were decisions made on the board? How did she be required to give in her car and her gun without a board decision? That's, people are asking me these questions, so I'm standing up in front of the board and asking the board these questions. Thanks for your time,
Thank you.
because I don't expect to get an answer.
Okay. Any other comments from the public?
Frank Lillis, Fort Montgomery. I'm here tonight, I just want to say the members of the department are really tired of Ms. Guerrero's nonsense and her demeaning the members of the Highland Falls Police Department and putting the chief on a high pedestal. I won't get into what happened, but we're really upset at the way you talk about us in front of the village, in front of the people here, and it's not right. We do a good job, and we're out there every day trying to protect lives, property, and doing the right thing. And we really don't appreciate what you do all the time, Melanie.
Frank,
Just want to tell you
I
that.
appreciate what you're saying now. You have the entire police force over here, or at least half of it, okay? And you are being paid by the villagers to protect them.
And
Not
that's
to
what
take
we do.
sides, not
That's
to
what we
take
do.
sides,
We don't
Frank. I
take
have not
sides.
said that, yes, you are.
No,
This
no.
is something that the police
It's-
chief who
wait a minute,
just
it's my time
resigned
right
would
now.
know.
You can
No,
make
no,
your
no.
comment.
No,
You have your
put
time
the
for your
question
comment. I'll
and
make
you're
my
accusing
comment
me
now.
of something. No, you're not making a comment. You accused me of saying that the police department, saying something bad about the police department. I have not said anything bad about the police department. What I'm trying to tell you is that I don't understand why a chief of police, the first female chief in Orange County with a fantastic resume, okay, second highest scorer in the chief exam, FBI experience, New York City experience, sheriff experience, came here to Highland Falls to become the chief and not last 6 months. And the question that's being posed not just by me, but by the people who got to know her, who saw her in events, okay, who time after time has told us that this is what's happening in the police department, and she was creating structure. She was creating a lot of things. She liked you very much, by the way, Tanya. So she was creating a lot of things for the police department.
Well, you're
And now
obviously
you're saying
clueless
that
and don't know
I
what's
am-
going on,
Oh,
so.
I'm not clueless.
And the people
That's
of the
right,
Village
I
of
don't know what
Falls
happened.
are not
What
being
happened?
fooled by you anymore. They see what you're doing. You know, in the beginning, you fooled
Frank,
everybody,
you're in a
so.
position where you are an employee of the village, and
That's-
that is not correct.
And you're a member of the
What you
village
should
board.
say-
You're a trustee of the
That's
village
right.
board.
So these accusations are not correct.
You don't even listen to your own attorney.
So I don't appreciate what you're saying. Okay, you're taking a
I
political
did
stand,
show-
you shouldn't.
Please.
It's over 3 minutes.
No, it's not.
She
No, it's
used
not.
up all my
Yes, it
time.
Excuse me.
Mike,
No, he didn't use up your time.
no, you did.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You can't accuse me of stuff like that.
Here's what we're going to do. You have 51 seconds. We stopped it when the exchange started.
Okay.
So you have over 2 minutes left. If you want to use them, use them. If you don't.
Just want to
it's
say
okay.
one last comment. I'm very proud to be a member of the Highland Falls Police Department. I know our members, our dispatchers do a very good job here, and we will continue to do a good job to the best of our ability and support the Village of Highland Falls.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other public comment? Yes.
Edward Falta from 427 Main Street. Change the topic, I'm not going to jump into the fray with that. Could we just get an update on what the village debt is and where we stand with the Ondiora Water Project?
Well, where we stand with the Ondiora
Yeah, like a-
project.
Like a number of the, what our current village debt is with the.
Wait, I wanted to address the second. You said where we are with the
Are you-
Ondiora project? It's the physical project?
Yes.
Okay. I know that they're doing the stormwater now. It's quite a job, quite a large pipe to put in. I don't know if you've seen it. But they're working on that now. We've had a good winter, so that all helps.
So, well, like, as far as like project completion. where-
No, I won't be able to tell you that tonight, but I can find out. Okay. And the debt I can't do tonight because I don't have it in front of me, but that'll.
Ballpark.
Pardon?
Give me a ballpark.
No, I won't do that, but I got to speak factual when I talk. I don't have the luxury of what other people have. I can get that, the total amount if you want,
Sure.
what it's for, maybe I can get that.
Well, I just
That's
think-
all, you can foil it too, or this is your wife over here, she can get it for you.
Well,
instead of me.
you're in charge.
Yeah, well, Matt, okay,
You're the
watch
boss.
this, watch this, this is what they do at West Point. Matt, would you get that information for me?
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
I will
See how it's
tell
done?
everybody what that information is.
Okay.
The debt has tripled in the past year. Okay, the information that I will give you is that we started with something like 4,000, and then we borrowed another 2 million for the stormwater drains, and then we borrowed another 2.4 million for the sewer lining, and now we're about to get started with on the Ora Cragston, which is another 3.4 million, which should start in the spring, coming soon.
Now, how much of these funds were brought out of capital reserves that were put away over the past 10 years?
Okay, so there are no reserves that were
Not for
put
that.
away. That's actually,
well, if it's not true,
plan
what's
was
the
to
number then?
bond.
That's not accurate.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the accurate number?
There's about $1 million in water and about $1 million in sewer.
So
There are
the-
no reserves. Those are not reserves. Those are called surplus, okay? So you're not allowed to have a surplus. You're supposed to put it in reserve funds. So that's the thing. We keep calling things a surplus. There is no surplus, okay? We've been borrowing money. If there is a surplus, then why are we borrowing money? That should be the question. You're the finance guy, Jim, so why don't we answer that?
Surplus-
Now I'm the finance guy?
Yeah, you have
Every time I
the,
give you an answer, you don't accept it, so now I'm the
that's right,
finance guy.
you're the finance
It's
guy.
the
You
public
have the
comment.
ear,
Can you let the public
you have the
comment?
ear of the
Can you let
mayor
the public
about the
comment?
finances.
Can you ever let the public comment?
Well, I was asked the question.
Okay,
I
you
think
answered
I
it
was,
correctly.
so I
It's the
answered it.
public's
It's
time.
not, no, go ahead, answer it. You're the finance guy.
public
Just
comment.
like you were the chief of the finance committee and the audit committee and the Orange County IDA.
Right.
Okay, and that's why you got kicked out.
What's that, 7 years ago now, 5 years ago? Keep
Do you-
going.
No, that was just a year and a half ago.
You still have time, so I don't know if you want to.
I mean, what's the difference between surplus and overtaxation? I mean, shouldn't that, if it's surplus, be returned to the taxpayers or put aside for a capital investment?
Well, you can't have it both ways. You can't complain on one side that you don't have any money left over to go to do capital improvements, and then give it back. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to create a reserve or a surplus account to pay for capital improvements?
I think that is what you're supposed to do.
Yes,
You do
yes.
that.
How much is in
No.
that
$1
account?
million,
There's $1 million in the
roughly, yes,
capital
yes.
Reserve,
reserve fund.
Water and sewer.
Capital-
Each roughly have $1 million.
reserve.
Capital reserve funds are
They were-
separate accounts
some of the funds-
with $1 million
Do you
each.
want me to answer?
Yes or no?
Do you want me to answer?
You're twisting it.
I'm not twisting it.
You are twisting it. Is it in the reserve fund or is it what you're calling a surplus?
Is this a debate or a public comment?
Well, this is, Frank, this is your money.
That's the answer. You can't.
your money, 'cause you don't live in Highland Falls.
Falls. No,
This is-
Frank, you're a police officer, you're
Well,
here
it's not
being
your
paid
money
by
'cause you're
the
not a
village
resident,
tax-
but it's the
He's one of
residents'
the
money.
village
Okay, here's what we're gonna
taxpayers.
do.
You're getting
Here's what we're gonna do.
Okay,
You
by
have
that.
anything- Do you have anything? Okay, there's no more public comment, I'm assuming, right? Okay, Brian.
I have a few things to add.
Okay, whatever you have, whatever, take your time. Well, you do need to.
I would, the middle school program on cell phones was very interesting. The center went down as a representative. The average kid is spending about 6 to 7 hours a day on a phone. It goes up to 16 hours a day. There were some suggestions about there is an addiction to cell phones. Certain families now are saying to their children, put it in a box, but you can't take your tablet or you can't take your phone to bed because some of the kids are staying up till 11, 12 o'clock at night on the phone. It was just interesting that some parents, didn't know how to put boundaries on children when it came to the phone or tablets. And that the other suggestion was don't
Speaking of cell phones.
have the tablets or the phones in a central place in the house when you're having dinner. Now, was really a radical move, Tell your kids to shut the damn phone off and have a conversation. Can you imagine people having a conversation at dinner? It's a very radical approach. But it was very interesting. They had a psychiatrist, the cornerstone down here, and there is an addiction on it. And kids are just 17, 18 hours, I just couldn't believe it, a day will do that. Kids are staying up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning going to school kind of drowsy because they've been talking all night on the phone. It was interesting. The other research came out is that there really is no reason for 5th and 6th graders to have cell phones. They're not supposed to have them in school. And yet there was not a lot of consensus about how do you tell your child they can't have a cell phone. No, you can't have a cell phone, and no, your father and I are not going to pay for it. Those are 2 suggestions. The other thing I thought about was Mrs. Coffey. She did the historical thing on Black History Month. It was absolutely fantastic. A lot of work was done. What I liked about it is it talked about the contributions that the African Americans who are here in our village made to this village. It also talked about kids, when they grow up, younger kids, are thinking about music and sports. The good thing that Mrs. Coffey did is she showed there are people of color in the Supreme Court, doctors, first heart transplant in Africa, poetry, Langston Hughes, Toni Morrison, Malcolm X, James Baldwin. It was just a fantastic thing. Parents brought their kids. It was just great. She deserves a lot of credit. I was asked by a couple of residents about something that they wanted to know why our village isn't safe anymore, and why a comment was made that it's not really the police who protect us, it's more of a community. And I said, well, within a community, you do work with neighbors. You make phone calls, you make sure they're all right, and things of that nature. One of the issues that I really talked about was that you have people sitting at home, they don't come to the meetings, there's a certain age, my age and up, and the question of we're not safe anymore, people didn't understand that, and they were frightened. So I met with officer in charge, and I said, I want statistics about the crime rate. Has it gone up? How many people are we truly losing? And what are we going to do about it? So he was kind enough to work with me on this. He said, after watching the village board meeting, I was left confused, surprised by some of the public comments made. Some of the comments were completely false, baseless, and misleading. I believe these statements were made to invoke an emotional response in the viewing audience and cast a feeling of lost confidence in this department. These comments were reckless and not based on facts. The Highland Falls Police Department has always been an agency of dedicated professionals who have chosen public service to protect the quality of life, personal freedom, properties of all the residents of Highland Falls. Our department is very diverse. We are comprised of men and women of many different ethnic backgrounds, reflective of the community in which we serve. Each day, the manpower is appropriately staffed to the agency's needs for the day. What that means, there are 2 officers on every shift. We are now covering all shifts, all 3 shifts, and we have a backup for all 3 shifts. Those are our sergeants. Each day, the manpower is appropriately staffed to the agency needs for the day. We serve the community proactively and investigate all types of crimes. We have our own detective division that investigates crime, and our shifts are supervised. To say that a department is less safe because an employee took another job is ridiculous. We are all certified and well-trained officers that have the ability to do what is needed. We have our dispatch unit and our traffic control officers go above and beyond every day. We have a tremendous working relationship with our colleagues at the state, county, and federal levels. and are always ready to come and insist. I welcome anyone who would like the facts or information about we do, please make an appointment. I urge that. I know he was busy. The sergeant was busy, and I still went in. And I said, can I make an appointment? And he said, yeah, I don't need an appointment. You just sit down and talk. If we're going to be making statements, then let's have some facts. Go in, sit down, and have a conversation. It's not going to hurt anyone.
Right.
Yep,
No,
no.
Well,
no, can't do it.
you can't.
Can't do
you
it.
can't
Does anyone, I want to close the meeting down. Does anyone else have anything that's pressing?
I do.
All right, you go ahead, and then I'm going to shut the meeting
Cast
down.
the
Okay,
shadow.
and I do have,
Another
I
report.
Okay, go ahead.
I still, no, Frank, he
No,
is one of
public
the
comment
people,
is
no,
over.
he is one of the
Public
people you're
comment is
protecting
over.
and paying you. So you can't
does she
just
do
put
this?
your hands up and tell him to be quiet. You can't do that, Frank.
This is not
This-
public comment.
So this is what I would say, Sergeant
ask for a
Torpey,
motion to
thank you
adjourn
very
ASAP.
much for that.
That one.
Sergeant Torpey, I appreciate the letter that you gave, and yes, I agree that the chief's resignation is very emotional for many people, to include me, and the people who have met her in the community, okay? I don't know why she resigned. I don't know why even when she resigned, the board, not me included, forced her to resign even earlier than what she intended to leave, when she intended to leave. So I do find that very emotional, because I thought she was doing a great job, okay? And there are some people who, in the department, who didn't like her firmness, the discipline, the changes that she was, and Frank is one of them, because he's shaking his head and making noises.
You're making false
Right, and
comments.
he
Yeah,
is,
that's-
he
you're making
doesn't
false
like,
comments.
he doesn't, and a lot of the
Stop
police
misleading.
department here,
Clueless.
who is you as a police
May I have a motion
department
to
are
adjourn?
here,
May I have
you're
a
here to
second?
protect the
Second.
people
All
of the
in favor?
village.
Aye. Opposed?
Okay, you're
Motion-
here to
motion
protect the
adjourned.
people of the
Take
village.
your facts. I'm not going to do anything for anyone.